Another pattern among new language learners is the use of what is called prefabricated language. For example, students discover one or more whole expressions that work well in a variety of interactions, and then use these forms extensively.
¿Necesitas hacer algo, Steven?
Sí.
¿Qué quieres, Steven?
¿Qué quieres? Agua.
¡Agua! Dime, ¿puedo tomar agua?
Bueno, tirar agua.
After a while, the student will take the basic prefabricated structure and start to modify it creatively. The use of prefabricated language actually can help students maintain their motivation when learning the second language because it allows them to enter into conversations quickly. And, as we know, the more opportunities students have to engage in purposeful communication, the better they'll get at using their new language.
Shani, ¿qué te parece si trazamos el dibujo? ¿Sí? ¿Te gustaría trazar el dibujo? Sí. Muy bien, vamos entonces a trazar el dibujo.
¿Puedo tomar un papel?
Sí, puedes tomar un papel.
Researchers have found that after a while, second language skills in immersion students will plateau. It's important that you be on the lookout for this so that you can lead the students to more advanced levels of language use. You can challenge the students to stretch to the next level by using different and more sophisticated structures and vocabulary, and by asking students to produce more elaborate answers to questions.
Monarquía viene de mono, significa uno, así que va a ser un solo rey el que va a tener todo el poder de Italia. Bien, todo este poder le va a tener un solo rey.
Closely connected with the issue of grammar instruction is the issue of error correction. Your students will make dozens of grammatical errors every day.
Oui, quand tu le mélanges et le gaz va donner la chaleur, la réaction chimique. Quand tu les mis ensemble et tu le formules.
D'accord. Once again, there is disagreement among the experts. One group believes that students eventually will speak the language well if they are given enough appropriate and accurate role models to follow. They say that if you approximate real-life conditions, errors eventually will disappear. Another group says that a real-life setting doesn't exist in the immersion classroom, that many times the classroom experience is all of the foreign language input that the child receives. This group says that you must tell students about their mistakes. Otherwise, the errors will become fossilized and difficult to change later.
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait, Paul?
Je suis allée à la gymnastique.
Est-ce qu'on dit à le? Est-ce qu'on dit au gymnase? Au gymnase. Qu'est-ce que tu as fait, Benjamin?
As with most debates, there's usually the middle ground that will make sense to you. It may be that the question you confront is not whether to correct or not correct, but rather how and when.
Ça a explosé.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire, ça a explosé?
Quand tu mis le liquide avec le poudre, ça a explosé mais pas comme une bombe, ça juste fait hors du tasse.
Ah, mais ça n'est pas arrivé quand nous avons mélangé un liquide et une poudre ici aujourd'hui. Est-ce que tu sais ce que tu avais comme liquide et poudre?
Oui.
Oui, qu'est-ce que c'était?
Le bicarbonate de soude et le vinaigre.
Although experienced teachers report success in correcting and successfully eradicating specific errors, they also find that correction may not be generalized by students to cover similar situations. Therefore, it's important for you to choose carefully which errors to correct.
¿Terminaste, Matthew?
Sí, terminaste, señora Singer.
¡Ay, que escuchó la señora Singer! ¿Cómo se dice?
Terminé.
Gracias, querida.
The following guidelines were developed by one researcher. We suggest that you think about them when determining whether correction is appropriate. Which mistakes most greatly interfere with communication? Would a native speaker react negatively to the mistake? Which mistakes are being made by the class as a whole? Is the mistake widespread or isolated to just one or two students? Will correcting the error lead you to teach a specific language structure? And if so, how versatile will students find that structure? Is it found frequently in authentic language use, and can it be used widely? How simple or complex is the concept, And will it take a great deal of time for students to understand and use? By using these as a guide, you can make a quick determination of whether correction of a particular error is needed and when and how it should take place. In most cases, it's best not to be too quick in correcting errors. Rather, you can make a mental note of the error and build the correction into a future lesson.